single moment in Wang Yibo's live broadcast left thousands breathless. Because the necklace he kept touching, he finally revealed who gave it to him, and the name sent the fandom into chaos. The screen was calm. The atmosphere felt warm. Wang Yibo was simply talking to fans, answering casual questions, brushing his fingers along the silver necklace resting lightly on his collarbone. A necklace fans had been obsessing over for weeks. At first, it was just like any other live. Yibo joked. He smiled. He read comments with that quiet, subtle charm that makes millions feel like he's speaking directly to them. But then something changed. A fan asked, "Why you keep touching that necklace? Does it mean something special to you?" He paused. Not a dramatic pause. Not a staged moment. Just a soft stillness, as if a memory had drifted into the room and stopped him from breathing for a second. The necklace glimmered gently. Yibo lowered his gaze, almost shyly, and the chat exploded with anticipation. Heart emojis, screaming messages, and wild guesses racing across the screen. He finally exhaled and said quietly, "Yes, it's special." Those 3 words were enough to make thousands lean forward, waiting. Because Yibo rarely gives personal answers. He rarely lets anyone peek behind the walls he keeps so carefully built around his private life. But that night, something was different. He wasn't hiding. He wasn't dodging. He was remembering, and the audience could feel it. This wasn't just an accessory. This wasn't just jewelry. This was a story that was about to come undone, one delicate thread at a time. The atmosphere shifted. You could almost hear the entire fandom holding its breath, waiting for him to continue. Yibo looked straight into the camera, the corners of his lips lifting in a soft, almost nostalgic smile. Not playful, not teasing, something far gentler. "It was a gift," he added, and the comments detonated like fireworks. A gift? From who? When? Why? Fans begged him to say more. Some typed in all caps. Some sent crying emojis. Some simply wrote, "Tell US." But Yibo didn't rush. He didn't let the pressure push him. He took his time, letting the moment breathe, letting the emotion settle around him. Because this wasn't just about answering a question. It was about revealing a memory. Finally, after nearly 20 seconds of silence, he spoke again. And that's when everything changed. I received it from someone who means a lot to me. A wave of screams echoed through fandom communities. Clips were screen recorded instantly. Fans replayed the moment on loop, trying to decode the tone of his voice, the softness in his eyes, the warmth of his smile. Because Yibo doesn't say things like that lightly. If something means a lot to him, then it truly matters. And suddenly, the necklace became more than a mystery. It became a symbol, a doorway into a private world he rarely lets anyone see. And then, the moment that shook the internet. The comment section begged him to reveal the name. Everyone expected him to dodge the question, to laugh it off, to shift the conversation the way he always does when things get personal. But tonight he didn't. He whispered a name that carried history, a name that carried emotion, a name that once again tied 2 worlds together in the minds and hearts of millions. I got it from Xiao Zhan. For a heartbeat, the world went silent. Completely silent. Even the scrolling comments felt frozen, as if the entire fandom collectively forgot how to breathe. Then, chaos, tears, screams, shock. Fans hit replay. Some burst into emotional laughter. Some needed a moment to sit down. Some spammed social media with messages like, "Did he really say that? He said Xiao Zhan on live. I can't believe this is happening." Clips spread like wildfire across global fan communities. Some interpreted it as friendship, some as nostalgia, some simply as a rare moment of openness from someone who protects his heart so carefully. But one thing was clear. He didn't say the name casually. There was softness, warmth, memory. It wasn't about stirring rumors. It wasn't about creating headlines. It felt personal, real, and deeply meaningful. After saying the name, Yibo didn't act flustered. He didn't regret it. He didn't try to erase the moment. Instead, he touched the necklace again, almost instinctively, as if it brought comfort, as if it held a story only the 2 of them understood. He moved on to another comment, pretending everything was normal. But his eyes still held that quiet softness. Fans noticed. Fans always notice. The live chat kept erupting with disbelief, joy, confusion, and emotional shock. Some fans wrote long threads analyzing the significance of gifts in celebrity circles. Others focused entirely on Yibo's tone, asking, why did he sound like that? Why was he smiling softly? The emotional ripple spread globally within minutes. Communities from Asia to Europe to Latin America all felt the weight of that single name spoken on a quiet night. And although no one knows the deeper meaning behind that gift, one thing remained clear. Whatever that necklace represents, it matters to him, enough for that emotion to leak through the screen. So, what did that moment truly mean? Maybe it was a simple gesture between old friends. Maybe it was a reminder of a shared past neither of them ever talks about publicly. Or maybe, just maybe, it was something more fragile, more private, more deeply cherished. We may never know the full story. But what Yibo gave the fandom was rare. A glimpse of something honest, something gentle, something emotionally real. And that small moment, that small confession delivered in a whisper, connected fans across the world in a shared heartbeat of shock, joy, and overwhelming emotion. Because sometimes the things celebrities don't explain become the stories fans remember forever. If this moment moved you too, stay with us. Not because you have to, but because moments like this remind us why we love following these stories. For the emotion, for the unexpected, for the quiet truths hidden in the smallest gestures. And this necklace, this soft confession, is one of those truths.